Hi everybody, Mr. Hersey here. No, come on. There you go. Alright, for whatever reason it just wants to do the short screen. So I highly suggest you watch the video. I know last week when I did Asynchronous Wednesday Activity 1, there was like 15 or 20 people, so almost a third of 8th graders that, your answers clearly showed that you didn't watch the video because I gave you the answers to like half of the assignment, and people weren't using that. All right, so I'm going to try to take you through this so you understand what we're doing here. All right, so you can write down the key question. It's in the slideshow. If you can make it bigger, awesome. But like I said, I'm just taking you down through it. Volume, I believe, is on in there. If not, you can look it up. I'm fine with that. Next question, you can answer that as well. What method would you use to determine? You can't be wrong. That's just what you think before we get going. And then the equation is right down here, right in the middle. Okay. Equation for a solid cube or rectangle is length times width times height. Okay. And what you're doing in the first exploration, which I have written here, you're using, I kind of want to get this away. Can I bring this thing over here? Yeah. You're using these boxes over on the right to fill in the table at the bottom of the first page. Or, the second page, I think. All right, you're using those to fill in this table right beside it, right on the left hand side. Okay, and you're filling them out both ways. All right, next you are going to use my keynote, all right, to measure the cube. Okay, please remember that a cube, the definition of a cube is that length, width, and height, all sides are equal. So once you know one side, you have the other two sides, okay? I want you to take a look at my keynote that I developed, and I want you to read the ruler with that cube that's right here, okay? Read that one. If you have to make the keynote bigger, do so that you can take that measurement, and you're team member 1, okay? And we'll get to team member 2, 3, and 4 in a minute. And then for the book, we're doing a physical science book for the rectangular solid that has different lengths, widths, and heights, okay? So you're going to read, again, you have book height here, you have book width, and you have book length, and you're going to read those and put them in as team member 1. Now, your team is Team Hersey for the rest of them. So I wrote down mine. I had Mrs. Hersey without asking her much, telling her much. I had her write it down. And then Jonah looked at the measurements, and he told me his measurements. So that's I'm team member 2, Mrs. Hersey's team member 3, and Jonah is team member 4. Okay, and again, we're looking for average and uncertainty. And you notice, can I mark this? Doesn't really let me mark it in Gmail, but the average says centimeters cubed. Anytime you have length times width times height, you're cubing your answer. Excuse me. If this were area, it would be centimeters squared, because you're just doing length times width. But this is, you're doing centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, which would make it centimeters cubed. Just like if you add like m times m times m, that's not 3m, okay? That's m to the third power, all right? So when we're talking about volume, I always want to see your units, okay, with a 3, you know, super scripted. Now, if you're typing it out, you can just have a big 3 and that's fine. But I always want to see that cubed units at the end. All right. So there are a couple of math questions at the end. If you look, math problems, I grade them 3 different ways, okay? Or for 3 different things. 1, you need to have your work, okay? You need to show the equation you're using. 2, you need to have your answer. Obviously, I'm looking for a proper answer. And then last, I'm looking for a proper units at the end. Now this one here said like blocks, deep blocks, okay? That really isn't a unit of measurement, but you know, for our case, it's blocks to the 3rd power. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to do the other questions here mathematically. Again, showing your work. You don't need to obviously do out the math. It's whatever. I just want to see the equation that you're putting into the calculator, your answer, and then proper units. So you'll notice like this one has meters, okay? So it should be meters cubed should be your answer if we're doing volume, okay? Again, this one's meters cubed. This one's blocks. This one is feet, okay? They're using feet, so you'd use feet cubed. What else do I need to say? It will be due next Tuesday, the 10th, okay? And it must be done for class, okay? Since we would be going over the answers, I am not going to give people full credit that don't have it done for class. I'm not going to let you just write in the answers without taking points off, okay? And I actually, if you don't have a lot of it done, I might actually just have you leave class because I don't want you writing all the answers down. All right, but again, if you have questions, please reach out. Study hall would be a good time on Thursday or Monday to get any final questions on, not to just start it. All right, I hope this video helps answer your questions.